y'all. Welcome to Stranger Stitches. I've got a big, fun project for us today. It is called the Faster Pussycat Shawl. And the reason I call it Faster Pussycat is because the beginning chain is the longest part of the project that you're going to do. Each consecutive row gets shorter and faster as you go along. So what we need to start, I've got a 5mm hook, but this works with anything. It's more like a recipe than a pattern. 5mm hook. I have 3 cakes of mandala yarn, and I'm going to use the greater part of it, all of it. This is by Lion Brand. I don't have no affiliation with them. I just like to tell y'all what I'm using, and that I think it's a pretty good product. There's 590 yards in each cake, and the colorway is Pixie. This is a 3-weight. So we are going to begin by making our chain, but I need y'all to leave a pretty generous tail on here. Give yourself 8-10 inches of tail. This is going to be important later. And then make your chain whatever length you need it to be, to go from fingertip to fingertip. Now, I am a person of generous proportion, so I made mine a little bit longer to go around all my assets. Chain, and don't count. Now I'm going to do a little bit more. I like these big, comfy, squishy shawls. To get started, we are going to count in 6, and the loop on your hook never counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip 6 and go into the 7th. If y'all have made granny squares or granny stripe shawls or anything with a granny square, granny stripe, this is going to look real familiar to you. Okay, you have your beginning loop right here, that's important, and your first granny cluster. We're going to skip 2 and granny cluster in every 3rd chain along the beginning. And don't get discouraged. Remember, this is going to go faster and faster as we go along. Faster, pussycat, faster! And not like I'm trying to give y'all projects that are just something that goes faster. This is a hobby. It's supposed to relax you. But you need to find something that gives you some satisfaction and gives you a sense of completion. And having something nice to wear or something nice to gift from your hobby is always cool. Okay, see how we're going? Granny cluster, skip 2, granny cluster. All the way along. And for these videos that I make for y'all, I do make them out of materials that I am actually going to use and wear. But I bet I have a sister that's going to want this, and she's going to lay claim to it. I know she is, because she loves these beautiful orange and yellow colors. Granny cluster is 3 double crochets right in the same spot. Getting something looks like this so far. This is going to be the top edge of your shawl. Easy to put a border on it if you want to. I usually don't border these. I like the way the edges look on their own. So, skip 2 and granny cluster all the way across your foundation chain, all the way to the end. And y'all don't need me to babysit y'all for this. You know what you're doing. You're probably doing it faster than I am. One, 2, 3. I like to use gradient yarn for this, or some variegated yarn that has kind of long color changes. I don't know, just personal taste, I suppose. I like to let the yarn and the colors work for me. You don't have to change colors too much if you use a long variegation. Okay. Y'all don't need me to babysit y'all for this. It's going to curl a little bit, but don't worry. No panic. There is no crying in crochet. Granny cluster, skip 2, granny cluster, all the way across your foundation chain until you get to the very end. And I'll meet you back at the end at the chain. So onward, keep going, and I'll show you how that tail works. And we're back. I've gone all the way across with my granny clusters working into that chain that we made, and I get to the end. And where I'm supposed to skip to, I find that I didn't make enough stitches in the chain because the count didn't matter. Well, here's what we can do. Pull out a loop so you don't lose your work. And it is so not worth it to go pull all of this out and start over. Don't waste your time with that. So because we left this long tail, we come through the back of that stitch, yarn over, and make a couple more chains, and that will allow you to complete what you wanted to do without having to pull anything out. Just use that tail that you left and make a few more stitches. Okay, so we have the 2 added stitches that we need. I'm going to triple stitch, that's yarn over twice, and go into that last stitch, that last chain stitch, and make a triple stitch. There you go. And let me show you how this tail works too. Let me just make a few more. If you decide that your project is long enough and you don't want to continue anymore, and your top of your shawl is long enough, you can just back it out. Don't go back through and try to recount and do all. There is no crying in crochet. Well, sometimes there is, but we're not going to cry over this. You can use that tail that you left and make a few more stitches, or decide that you didn't need them and you clip out that knot and back out a few stitches. You don't have to have an exact count, and this works with any project where you have a long beginning chain. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I have a little bit of cognitive ability, and that's not playing around. I do have some neuro difficulties sometimes, and this helps me so much because did I chain 399 or 405? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Get yourself in the ballpark and use that long tail. And you can correct your foundation chain to whatever you need it to be. Okay, so into the last one, last chain of the row, I've made a triple stitch. And then coming right off the top of that triple stitch, I chained 3. Right there, I chained 3, and I'm going to turn my work. Oh, did y'all see? I also went through a color change right there between the beige and the orange. I get so excited about color changes. Okay, chain 3 and turn. We're going to ignore this first space that we made. And we are going to granny cluster in the natural spaces in between the clusters of the previous row. Like I'm saying, just like a granny. And we're going to keep going all the way across. And see how this is going to be shorter and faster with each row? And let me talk to you about that long tail. I heard somebody once tell me, oh, that's wasteful. That's wasteful. No, it isn't. That's a little piece of yarn. And sometimes that little scrap of yarn is just the cost of doing business. Would you tell a sketch artist that he can't sharpen his pencils because there's some little pigment and wood, a little charcoal and wood in those scraps? No, you can't do that. It's just how it works sometimes. Would you tell an oil painter that she can't rinse her brushes because she has a little bit of oil paint in there that she needs to use? No, you don't. No, you don't. It's part of the process. It's not wasteful. It's the cost of doing business and the nature of some hobbies. You're going to have a little bit that you have to rinse away. You're going to have a little bit that you have to snip off. Now, see, this second row is uncurling that first row. It's going to lay nice and flat. So we're going to work it like a granny stripe, but we are going to decrease every row on each end. I hope y'all use that tail technique sometime. It saves you a lot of aggravation when you can just adjust that foundation chain to whatever you need it to be. No need to be upset. No need to pull out all that first row that you just made. Just increase or decrease that foundation. And keep going until you've made a granny cluster in each space between the clusters of the previous row. I'm loving this color. It's a kind of a peachy melon kind of a thing. I may have to hide this from my sister. I want this for myself. But you know, if she asks for it, I'm going to give it to her. Okay, let's granny cluster in each space between all the way across. And I will meet you back here and show you at the other end what that decrease looks like. See y'all in just a minute. So, I went and granny clustered in the spaces between the clusters of the previous row. I'm almost to the end of row 2, and I'm going to show you how that complete decrease works. So I'm working my last cluster of the row. And see that loop on the end? That's important. We're going to triple stitch right through that loop. 1, 2, 3. Work them off 3 by 3. That's your first corner at the top of your shawl. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. Doing good so far. And if you do your chains, your triple stitch and your chains, it's I know that the chain 3 is not quite as high as a triple stitch, but if you keep it consistent, this edge is going to turn out perfectly straight. Okay, we've worked our decrease on the second row, and we're going to go back and do this again. So basically, this is the repeat row. Well, rows 2 and 3 are going to be your repeat rows. You're going to work a decrease every row at each end until you get down to the point. And then you're going to tie it off and call it done. How you like it so far? Easy breezy. Nothing to count. You're going to go by your landmarks. You're going to let the yarn do the work. And in the end, you're going to have a perfectly beautiful wearable. And if y'all didn't know, I do on my other playlist some true crime stories where I continue to work on my projects while I tell y'all a story. You don't have to go over there, and I know that crime and history mysteries are not everybody's thing. Just saying, that's what I do with these projects. I go over there, tell you a story while I work the project. And sometimes, well, you know how long it can take to do even an easy project. I work on the same project for several episodes, but that's always up to y'all. And I'm going to go all the way across. using the same method, granny, 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 but we're working it in stripes with a decrease at each end, and it goes faster and faster as you go along. I'm going to get across this row. I'm going to meet you at the next row. We're going to do one more corner, and then I'm going to cut you loose. If you're interested, I'm going to continue to work on this project on the Jeffrey Dahmer episode. So I will see y'all over there. Well, if you want to. If not, just hang out here. Yeah, I know that Jeffrey Dahmer ain't everybody's cup of tea. Alrighty, I will see you at the corner. Okay, we've done 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th row. And do y'all ever tell yourself stories? I'm going to finish one more row and then I'm going to go fold some laundry. I'm going to finish one row and I'm going to go make lunch. That's where I'm at right now. Last cluster. Then you come to the end. We're going to triple crochet. And see, there's one shorter, longer, shorter, longer, but that all makes it fit. It all fits together and it lays nice and flat along your edges. And I think that I could have made that a little bit shorter in the beginning. I may have to fix that later. I'll see how I feel about it when we get there. But there you go. You know everything you need to know about how to do the faster pussycat. Chain 3, turn your work, finish this row, and go sweep your kitchen. Yeah, we'll see if that happens. Okay. You know everything you need to know. And if you decide to make this, let me know. I would love to see what y'all do with this. And here's the other thing. I don't mind what y'all do with the patterns and instructions that are here on Stranger Stitches. Take it. Run with it. It's yours. Make 1,000,000 of them. Sell them. Gift them. Whatever you need to do. Whatever you want to do. This is all yours. All yours. Thanks once again, and hello to all my new subscribers. Thank y'all so much for all the likes and shares. Y'all mean the world to me, and I appreciate y'all so much. So, faster pussycat. Love y'all. See you next time.